watching this video as you are attempting to complete the word equations worksheet when I today. And I knew some of you were going to have some questions about how to actually go about this, so I thought I would do the first one as an example on a little video here. So here's a word description of a particular chemical reaction that occurs. And what I need to do is I need to translate the word description into a chemical equation. Step one, I need to identify my reactants and my products. So here I go. I see that zinc and lead nitrate are my two reactants. I see that they react to form zinc nitrate and lead, and those are going to be my two products. So I like to indicate these with P's and R's. R's for reactants, P's for products. So I know what goes on the left side of the yield sign and what goes on the right side of the yield sign. I also want to find my symbols. I know and is plus. I know reactive form has to be my yield sign. And here's another and. So now I'm at the point that I can translate the names of these chemicals into symbols. This is where your periodic table comes in, and also the reminder of using your oxidation numbers and polyatomic table and your Roman numerals if you've got transition metals. So if I take a look here at zinc, I recognize zinc as just Zn. And zinc's a metal, so I can make a good assumption that it's probably a solid to start with. Plus, now I need to translate lead nitrate into an actual formula. So I'm going to come down here to do this. I look up lead on my periodic table and see that it's Pb. And lead's not technically a transition metal, but it can have either a 2 or a 4 oxidation state. Here I see it has a +2. And then ATE here reminds me to look on my polyatomic table for the symbol of nitrate, which I will find to be NO3. And I keep it in parentheses to remind myself to treat it as all one unit. And it has a -1 charge. And I flip the charges and make them subscripts. And I will find out that my other reactants is going to be Pb NO3 with a 2 on the outside. And there is no way for you to know right now that this is aqueous at room temperature. So you don't have to put this as you're solving the worksheet. I'm going to put it just to tell you it's aqueous. Don't worry about whether or not you can tell it's aqueous or not. So I'm going to put that there like that. You don't know why it's aqueous yet, but you'll learn soon. And now I've got another polyatomic on the other side, on the product side. I'm going to do the same process down below here. I got zinc, and I've got nitrate. Nitrate's a -1, and zinc is the transition metal that's always going to be a +2. And then I'm going to flip the charges and make them subscripts. And I find I get Zn NO3 2. And because it contains the same nitrate again, I know it's aqueous, which you're not expected to know yet, but I will do it anyways just to get you used to it. Let's make some room here. And then you get lead. And since lead is all by itself, and it is a metalloid, I can make a good assumption that it is a solid at room temperature. This is the correct chemical equation that goes along with your word equation, and this is the process that you're going to look to follow for the worksheet. Be aware of elements that are by themselves, however, double check to make sure that they are not diatomics. Have no fear of ice cold root beer. H is hydrogen, N is nitrogen, F is fluorine, of is oxygen, ice is iodine, cold is chlorine, root beer is bromine. So make sure if you see any of those, you write those with a subscript 2 to represent the diatomic. Hopefully this helps. Good luck, and we will go over this on Friday.